Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I have a few things that I wanted to kind of discuss, and I'm making lunch, so I thought, what the heck? So if you want to know what's on my mind, stay tuned. Okay, now there are a couple fire things going on outside. I don't know what's going on, but it's really loud, and I keep hearing fire trucks go by. So I don't know. I should probably check the news or whatever. But I'm just making my lunch, and I thought I've got about 40 minutes until my next meeting, and I have a couple things I just wanted to kind of talk about. This seems to be my kind of format lately. Let me know in the comments if you like this, if you want me to, if you prefer them in another area or something. Is the lighting weird? I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, so I've been in a little bit of trouble lately. I keep getting in fights with people on the internet. And I don't know. So I've just had like two, and I realized that I just need a life probably. And I am doing something completely out of my comfort zone, and that's another video, and I will share with you guys what I'm doing in tomorrow's video. But I've been kind of bored, and I guess I've been getting into fights with people on the internet over a couple things. And so I just want to kind of like talk about that a little bit, and a couple of things, and kind of share my opinion. Now, disclaimer, for anybody that might be new to the channel or whatnot. So I've got some meat, some broccoli, some sweet potatoes, and then I'm going to put a little hummus in it. So anyways, so two arguments that I have got into. Now the first is in a group of parents that I follow with kids that have auditory processing. Okay, so kids that have what I have, basically what my kids have. So we have trouble hearing. It affects your memory. So when someone tells you to do something, you oftentimes just forget it. We have a horrible working memory. Now that I have hearing aids, that is definitely better, but I still struggle. So one of the things that I have learned over the years and adapting is I do everything. I create to-do lists for everything. I write it down. As soon as you tell me something, I immediately jot it down in my phone or on a piece of paper. And that is how I've learned to cope. And I am really good at making lists. I love Trello, all of that. Now my kids have similar fates. They also horrible memories, and I have taught them to do the same. So they take notes, they use Trello, they try to keep their stuff together, okay? And that is how we have learned to kind of cope with some of the things that we have going on. Zachary, my middle son, is super ADHD, to the point to where I have lost many a jacket on the playground, and he would leave them overnight or leave them over the weekend, and they would be rained on and all these things. And yeah, so he's very forgetful, but he remembers things that are important to him. So he's never lost his magic deck. He takes his dice to school every day, and then he brings them home every day. So there are certain things that are important to him, and he makes sure that he brings them home. Now, I say all this as kind of a start to the story. So somebody was on one of the message boards talking about their kid who had photo day. And I'm guessing that there's some sort of uniform involved, and that there was a sweater or a cardigan that was involved in this child's outfit. And said child forgot their cardigan or lost their cardigan or something. And the teachers were like, tough tookus. It's your turn to take a picture. Get over there and take your picture. Okay. So the mom gets the proofs of the picture and loses her shit. Okay. She's super upset because the school needed to make sure that this child had her cardigan, and if she was not able to locate her cardigan, they needed to know that she has a poor memory and that they needed to help her find it, or they needed to call the mom and get her to bring a cardigan from home, and all of these things. And basically blaming the school for this child not having a cardigan for her pictures. And I was very respectful. I was nice. I don't like to be, I'm not a bee about it on the internet or anything, but I said that with myself having a alphabet soup of ailments as well as my children, one of the things that I've learned is that if they think that it's important, they will figure out a way to remember it. And that you have to let your kids experience things. And if that means, like losing your sweater and then you're stuck out in the rain, that's how you learn. You get those life experiences and you realize what's important, and then you figure out how to cope and how to make it work for you as an adult. Because when you're an adult, nobody's going to remind you that you left your jacket at work and now you're stuck out in the rain. You will not be able to take responsibility for your own actions if you don't suffer the natural consequences of such a thing. Now, my kids go to Montessori, and that's a big part of their schooling, is that you forget an assignment or you forget something, they won't call you for the most part, because that was the child's responsibility. And they will the next time remember, hey, I need to remember my assignment because X, Y, and Z happened. So just because a child is not a neurotypical child, whatever their ailments are, I do believe in letting them experience some of the consequences that come along with it. Because as an adult, I don't get babied. Nobody tells me, like, if I don't get my assignment in on time, I don't get to say, oh my gosh, I have blah, 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 and this is why I didn't turn in my project, or I didn't get that report to you. You don't get that in adulthood. And so I am big about, if my kids, like this morning, for instance, Jackson left his notebook. He forgot his binder. And so he is probably going today without a math book. And he's going to have to deal with the natural consequences that come along with forgetting his notebook. And so I got into it with these parents and this mom, and, said, it's just a sweater. Your child didn't think that it was important enough to remember, so she didn't wear the sweater. It's fine. Nobody died. You still have pictures. Like, she was upset. It was like, I cannot give these pictures to the grandparents and blah, blah. And I guarantee no one cares about your cardigan. No one. Just you. You're upset. Yes. And you want to coddle your child and make sure that they're taken care of. But this was a 10-year-old kid. Guess what? They now have that picture to forever remind them, remember the time that I forgot my cardigan? Maybe next year they'll remember. So I got into it. It was fine. Whatever. And then I had a parent. It was actually great. So then somebody followed in a couple days later who was a Montessori teacher. And she was like, it's absolutely right. Children need to learn the natural consequence of things. And you're going to have to let your kid figure it out on their own. So that was good, like, validation. But yeah, I don't believe in coddling the kids and getting everything handed to them. Like, yes, they do have 504s in place. And it's basically all for awareness for their teachers. That if you hear my kids saying, what, check in and go, hey, are your hearing aids working? Are your batteries working? They don't have reduced workloads or less stuff, and we don't like point fingers if my kids don't get anything done. If my kid makes a bad grade, he suffers the natural consequences of that. And it's because he didn't advocate for himself, or he didn't ask the teacher to explain herself again, or he didn't ask, hey, can I get that in a written form because I didn't catch anything you just said, teacher who whispers too much, whatever it is. So that's that. And then the second one, and again, I hope I don't offend anybody here, but I think that you probably have guessed from my videos on not using toilet paper and living in a tiny house and all these other things, is that we're a little bit unconventional on some things. Whatever. So I was in this group for homeschooling moms, and I just thought it was a group of homeschooling parents, and somebody posted a thing at the local library about a seminar on drag, theater, and gender. It was specifically designed for teenagers, and it's at our local library. Now, when I saw it, I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder if Jackson would like to go. Apparently, this was the wrong group. And the moms were trying to organize a protest and pray for everybody's souls, and this was horrible. And the library was basically, according to these women, having child molesters come to this event and roll around on the floor with their children. And that how dare they do this at a time where teenagers would be at the library by themselves, possibly unattended with their parents, and how dare they do this? And it was a big thing. No. Just no. On like 20 different levels. First of all, my teenager, whatever his beliefs are, at this point, he's going to come across things that I am not going to be around for. I'm not going to be there to hold his hand and tell him what to think and what to do. I've had that chance. I've had many years to teach him values and help him become the person that he's going to be. Now, if I was hugely religious and believed that this was a sin and this was horrible and whatever else, my kid would know that. So when if he was at the library and he was reading books and I was nowhere near him and he came across this seminar on drag queens, if he knew how we felt and he didn't believe that it was a good idea, he wouldn't go into the seminar. Okay? He is a teenager. He can make those decisions. And again, natural consequences. He can decide which way he wants to go. But I have given him the tools and he can think for himself. So the fact that these teenagers were bombarded, come on, he's a teenager. He's going to go to college. He's going to leave. And he's going to do all the things that you don't want him to do, whatever that is. Now, my kids, they're going to have to try a little bit harder to rebel against us and do things that I don't know what he'll do. He wants to get a tattoo? Okay, cool. I'll take you to go get a tattoo. Your dad actually wants one anyways, so you can probably get them together. If you come home and say, hey, Mom, this is my boyfriend. Cool. I'll cook him dinner. Like, there's not probably a lot of things that they could, hey, Mom, I want to go to this punk show. Cool. I'll go with you. Like, there's not a lot that they could rebel against, but then, you never know. But anyways, so that upset me because I was like, these are teenagers. Chill out. They should have the tools necessary to make their own decision. Because if they're 16, 17, and don't really have a good idea of morals and where they stand and kind of where they are in the world, you're not going to fix it now. Like, following them around and coddling them at a library seminar, you're too late. I don't know. That's my thought. Also, the people with the saying that clearly these people were pedophiles because they want to do a seminar about gender and drag, which is a theatrical art form anyways, has nothing to do with sex, and they should not be connected. But these are not pedophiles. Like, there are pedophiles everywhere, okay? Don't get me wrong. My son went to the library the other day, the public library, the very same public library, and he walked in the bathroom on someone pleasuring themselves in the stall, okay? This was not a drag queen. This was just a man. Honestly, you can come across that anywhere. But to naturally assume that someone who is transgender or does drag or is gay is automatically a criminal is ridiculous and infuriated me. Yeah. So there you go. Those are my arguments on the internet today. And, you know, you might not agree with me on some of those, and that's totally cool. And everyone has their own opinion. And everybody is able to, as a parent, you can teach your kids and parent your kids however you want. Yeah, but, you know, in the case of the first one, where the woman is like, you don't understand what it's like to have these ailments. I do. And I've been successful in my life because I've been able to take, you know, I can understand consequences and do things for myself. And then the second one, chill out. Leave people alone. My kids would love to go to that event at the library. If you don't want your kids to go, don't go. But don't call the library bitching and complaining and trying to get it canceled. Don't do it. Don't try to protest the thing. Just don't show up if you don't think it's a good idea. Don't ruin it for everybody else. My kids would probably think it was awesome. Talk to you guys later. Bye.